Hello, I'm back and this time I'm going to try to teach you some tips about drawing eyes and eyebrows. I decided to make eyes that aren't in a horizontal position. When you have to make the eyes in a face that is tilted, you have some difficulties. So my first advice is to draw two lines so that the eyes are always in the same line. If you make these two parallel lines, you will start drawing the eyes and you will know that they will be even and not in a strange position. First of all, you should make a rough output of the eye. I'm drawing an Asian eye, so the double eyelid is very clear. Don't be afraid to erase, but first just get these proportions right. As I'm drawing the eyes with a very clear image, we can see the eyelashes and all the little details. When you are sure of the dimensions of the eye, you can start putting more strength in the pencil. I advise you to use a thinner pencil. I just draw the part of the eye that always shines a bit. You always have the pupil with the brighter area that you shouldn't cover, so draw a circle and then you can fill it up, leaving the areas where the light hits clearer. See how I left this little part in the lower part of the eye, and now I'm filling it in and putting more strength when I am sure that the eye is with the right proportions. In the corner of the eye, you will always have a darker area. There will always be an area where you have to make a dark spot. The bottom part of the eye usually is made from the eyelashes. When they are more visible, you can make small and thin eyelashes and then make these little shadows below. The white part of the eye may not be always that white according to the shadows in the picture you are drawing, and you can blur it always with your finger, as I am going to do now, because there is some light, so I roughly put some lines and then use my finger to blur it a bit. As you can see, this picture has the eyelashes very defined, so you can count them and make small or thinner sketches, and then you can complete the eyelashes according to their thickness and position. I counted them and I started making the eyelashes according to the position of the pupil and the white area. You should have a thin pencil to do this, but always darken the parts only after you are sure of the position of the drawing. That's what I'm making right now. 작은 손톱 And when you finish the eyelashes, you should look carefully at the picture and see where you can make it thicker. Notice that I haven't changed my pencil yet. Sorry about the hand covering the drawing sometimes. The corner of the eye always has also a darker part, the upper corner. You can always make this with the pencil or just blurring it up with your finger. Of course, in a man's eyes, the eyelashes won't be so long, but the principles are the same. I just made a rough line of the face, and now I changed my pencil and I'm using a graffiti pencil to make the shadows that contour the eye and the eyelashes and give way to the nose. These graffiti pencils are very good to make shadows. To draw the eyelashes, you need a very thin pencil. When you have a clear picture ahead of you and you can see all the small details, as it's the case, you can only make a more natural eyelash with a thinner pencil. Don't put too much strength in the pencil, but roughly make all the lines that you can see in the picture. Look how I'm not putting too much strength, but I'm making the eyelash with the hair to both sides. When you think you have the major hairlines drawn, then you can start putting more strength where you see that some part of the eyelash is darker. And I didn't change the pencil here. Here I use the graffiti pencil again to complete the shadows in the upper part of the eye, between the eye and the eyelash. When you start making the other eye, the first thing you have to make is see if it is longer than the other one. When you are drawing a face that isn't looking in front, to the front, you get the bad habit of making one eye bigger than the other. So be careful about this. Measure the eye with your fingers and beware also of the distance between the eyes. Here I noticed that the right eye was a bit longer than the left one, but the eye is open with the same dimension. So first I made the rough size of the eye and the pupil. Look how round you have to make the pupil. If the eyes don't have the right expression, your picture will be ruined. As you can see in the original picture, the right eye has a very defined double eyelid, and again the eyelashes. I am just making small traces, counting the eyelashes that I see in the picture. You just have to follow some point to guide yourself, either the pupil or the white area of the eye. Again, when you are sure about the drawing that you just make, you can make the lines thicker and darken the areas where the eyelashes overlap, and they make a darker area in the eye. That's what I'm making right now, but always using the same pencil here. Do not use the graffiti pencil here because you can blur it more than you would want to. See how I make that part darker and thicker? Just by putting more strength. Again, I am making that shiny effect in the eye. I leave one part completely blank, then the dark circle, and this right eye has more light than the left one, so I'm leaving this part and only filling it up around it. And then according to the light, you can put more or less strength in that area that you left blank. You just have to notice the little details and have a clear vision of the eye. This creates a kind of more natural eye effect. And of course, if you are doing this in a colored drawing, it would be even easier because you just would have to use different tones of the same color. Look at that little dark spot in the corner of the eye, and again, very, very, very tiny eyelashes in the lower part of the eye, and that shadow that makes the eye more defined. Beware to don't put too much strength in this shadow, otherwise you will have panda circles. And I'm doing this with the graffiti pencil. Again, some shadow with the graffiti pencil. And look how it is very smooth. And I am filling it in and making the other eyebrow. Again, if you noticed, I am using that upper line still as a reference. I erased most of the line, the parallel lines I drew at the beginning, but if you keep them until you almost finish the drawing, you will be sure that the eyes will be even and in the right proportion and direction. Again, I am making thin lines where the eyelashes are defined, but very light touch. You just have to follow, and with a very thin pencil you can have a very natural effect in the eyebrows. After you make the major lines, you can erase small parts to make the curve of the eyebrow. And then you can start putting more strength in the areas where it is clearer that some lines are stronger and darker. With the graffiti pencil you can make the other shadow between the eye and the eyelash in the right eye. According to the light you can put more or less strength, but with the graffiti pencil you can make the shadows very easily. In the end you just have to make some final touch to darken or lighten the areas that you think still need some touch. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
One last smile 빠진 오죠 알 수 없던 황홀경 내가 보고 느끼던 세상과 난 어울려 너와 손을 잡고